Hi everyone, hope you're all well, enjoying the sunshine. It's a cracking day here. Sun streaming in through the windows, birds singing. Well, you can't hear the birds singing because the doors are closed today, but I'm sure they are singing. And yeah, everything's good. Everything's good in our world. What about yours? How's it going? Is it all spick and span? Everything going according to plan? And if it's not, are you dealing with it okay? Fantastic. So we've got several things to cover for you today. Sensei Maisie will be with me in just a second. She's doing the usual stuff. She's getting all the technical things organised. She's doing the levels and the all the video stuff as well, audio and visual levels. She'll be right over. I'm sure she will. We've got lots of things to talk about. We're just going to review everything, make sure we know where we are, make sure everyone's happy with what's going on. Something that we are going to talk about that we would love to do is a question and answer session like this. You know, where you send in questions or call us with questions, email us, message us, and then we'll do our best to answer those questions in a subsequent week's broadcast. So it would be lovely if the next one of these sessions was a question and answer. Obviously, for that to happen, we need some questions. And they can be pretty much anything, martial arts, fitness, health, diet related. We'll do our best to get them answered. If they're things that may need a bit of research, just give us a little bit of time to do the research, or to at least check our facts. And if there's stuff that you think we'll know because of our experience, then you can send them in, 5 minutes before we start. No, not quite 5 minutes, but you can send them in soon before we start, can't they?
They can.
But obviously, if it's going to require a little bit of thought from us, then a little bit of thinking time would be good. So, hello, welcome.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. Just saying what a lovely day it is.
It is nice. It's a shame almost to be stuck inside.
Yes, it is, but there you go.
There you go. One of those things.
Could be worse. We could be... we could be a lot worse, couldn't it? There's about a million things I can think of that could be worse.
Well, it could be snowing. That would be worse, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Has it snowed in May before? Oh, I'm not sure about that.
No. But...
somebody will be able to give us those facts, I'm sure.
I'm sure
somebody on
somewhere
Google.
in the world, perhaps not here, but somewhere in the world I'm sure it's snowed in May.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. Somewhere in the southern hemisphere, perhaps.
Exactly, yeah. So, anyway, I hope everybody's doing all right. I hope you're all watching. You can all see us. Don't forget to let us know if you're watching. We like to know who's watching. The more people who get involved, the better for us. I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to get everything up on my screen so that I can reply to messages and things like that as they come in. So today's podcast is a little bit different. We don't really have a topic to talk about other than we're going to update everybody on what we've been doing.
Yeah.
And the things that we've got coming up as well.
Yes.
So this is
we have had
an
a
update.
very busy week. That's why we haven't been able to spend quite as much time planning this podcast as we'd like. However, we feel that it's sort of balanced out by other things, so we're not too upset about that. We just think that, okay, this may be a little bit shorter, may not be, but it may be shorter, and we'll just get the information over to you that we need to get over to you. But like we've been setting up the one-to-one classes and all those things, so that's taken a bit of our time, hasn't it?
It has, and we have sort of found that people do tend to enjoy the podcasts a bit more when we have a general update or we talk about something that's going on within the academy. So that's the sort of thing we're going to go for today and see how we go with it.
Absolutely. So first thing on my list is PE classes. As you know, these are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11, hosted by Sensei Maisie.
By me. Yep.
And those are going really well. We have loads of people who are engaged all through the lesson. We have parents messaging and people sending in photographs afterwards, and it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's really nice.
It is nice.
It'd just be great if more people got involved, and more parents and more family members. brothers, sisters, children. If you're an adult student, you have children, get your kids involved as well with the PE classes.
Yeah,
that'd be lovely.
I think the more people who do get involved with that sort of thing, the merrier. I think it's the same with all of the live classes that we do. We do have our usuals, our regulars, don't we? The ones who do tune in every day, every week, which is great. We love having those people on board. But I can't stress enough, if you're somebody who's thinking to yourself, I'm not going to enjoy doing a live class, I'm not going to enjoy doing something in my living room, then you've got to give it a try, because you don't know if you're not going to enjoy it unless you try it, do you?
No,
and
you don't.
I
You
think
really
that
don't.
for the sake of 30 to 45 minutes, you run the risk of having a really good workout and burning lots of calories as the end result. And really that's the worst that's going to happen. I don't think you'll enjoy it, or I think people get this idea in their head that they're not going to enjoy something without really thinking about it and giving it a try, and I just think give it a try. And if you try it and you don't enjoy it, fine.
Maisie and I were having this discussion a couple of days ago, and we sort of understand that people who come to live classes, our normal classes, are people who enjoy interaction. They enjoy being with people and doing things. And that's great. And obviously that's all been turned on its head for the moment, and you're not being able to do the live classes. And you're probably not the people who ideally would look for an online class.
No.
Because you're the people who would look for a live class.
Yep.
We understand. All I'd say is give it a try in the meantime. But at least, it's people it's people you're used to. You see us around all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, I can see people are watching us now. I'm going to shout out to Becky, because Becky said hi, Becky Manley. And I know that Becky joins in the PE. She's one of the parents. She joins in the PE. We've got some other people who are watching as well who have done the PE. So if you're on the chat, if you're able to just drop a message in there and, maybe encourage some others to join in, then it's worth it, because I think somebody somewhere is going to be watching this thinking, oh, I'm not convinced. But I think rather than us just saying to go and try it, maybe some other people could jump in and give us some recommendations as well. That would be great.
The other thing, of course, and this is a real beauty of online classes, and I said this when I did my circuits last week, do as much as you can, get involved as much as you like. But of course, if you get to a point where you can't carry on for a bit, you need a break, no one's going to even know.
No, you're the only person who's going to know.
So you can dip in and dip out as you like.
Yeah.
And, I think for me personally, rather than the calorie burn thing, for me it's the endorphin rush.
Yeah.
I feel so good after I had a workout that I love that endorphin rush, so I would always go for that.
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
Yeah, so I just had a message from Jane Bentley and the White family, who, again, they're there on every single live stream that we do. We love having those guys involved. They always get involved. They always send us messages. And, of course, they're not the only ones who send us messages and pictures and things like that.
Loads of people do. It's
but,
really good.
They are an example. And Jane's just sent me a message to say that she's loved doing the PE. So I try and tailor it for everybody. I try and make it a workout that everyone can do, regardless of your fitness levels. Of course, if you're somebody who is ultra fit, then this sort of workout probably isn't going to push you as much as, I don't know, going for a 10k run or, that kind of thing. And it works on the principle of high intensity interval training. And like I say, it's tailored to everybody. There's nothing in there that's really difficult. And, again, that's been proven because we've got some parents joining in, and it's really great. And I love having everybody join in. It's so good.
Just a little offshoot from that, I have put together some really short videos on getting started. We're calling them off the mark, aren't we?
Yep.
And they really are videos designed to get people from zero fitness to some fitness, or at least from zero fitness or zero experience in exercise to some experience in exercise. And I appreciate, there are loads of brilliant videos on YouTube of super fit people and how to get super fit. But probably fewer covering the first steps. So that's what I've put out there for you guys, and hopefully you'll find some value in those as well.
I'm going to say hello to Sophie as well. Sophie's watching us, just sent me a message to say she's there. Hope you're all right, Sophie. Hope you're enjoying all those classes that I know you've been doing as well. Good stuff.
So the next item on my list here, live classes. So we have live classes Mondays and Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be the same this Friday. And remember, this Friday's kickboxing class, we're taking a bit of a detour from the usual stuff. We're going to do urban kickboxing. It's going to be self-defense related kickboxing. Now, this is new for me and new for you. We've never done this before. The idea being, sometimes I look at a syllabus and think, do you know what? There's no self-defense. There's no reality training involved in our kickboxing.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly the people who come to learn kickboxing aren't looking for that. They may just be looking for sport training, which is fair enough. But I'd like to give it a try and see what sort of response I get. So
it's really good. I mean, we've sort of, and I know Master Ward has been involved in this as well,
absolutely.
and we've thrown around some ideas together, and we've come up with some really good stuff. And I think, again, it's one of those things that you can even join in if you're not somebody who does kickboxing. It's something that you can join in, and hopefully everyone can benefit from it.
Yeah, I think so. Now, live classes. Next Monday is a bank holiday again, Whitsun bank holiday, and we've decided that we won't do classes, a live class on that day, and any live class. A couple of reasons. One, we're doing some decorating here, and it means we can just spend the whole day cracking on with decorating. So it's not we're going to be laying around on a bank holiday. And secondly, you may want to do something else on a bank holiday.
Yeah.
Now, I know there are still lots of restrictions in place, and there's lots of things you can't do, but things are easing off a little bit. You might think, all right, we'll go and do this, go and do that.
Or we'll have a family barbecue, household
absolutely.
barbecue, that sort of thing. And we appreciate that everybody can catch up on the live stuff later. You don't have to do it live. But the decorating for us at the minute is sort of, right, we've got an hour, let's go. Let's grab a paintbrush, let's do a bit more. And we're doing quite a lot of decorating, aren't we?
Yeah, quite a bit.
And it would just be quite nice to spend that the whole day, if you like, on some decorating. So whilst you will be resting on a bank holiday, think of us here painting. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep. Starting on the gents' toilets next, which I'm ultra excited about, of course.
I don't know what the problem is.
No.
Anyway, next item. One-to-ones. Now, the one-to-ones start this afternoon. Pretty much when we finish this, we're going to gobble down some lunch, aren't we? And then get ourselves ready for the one-to-ones.
Yep.
So we're really looking forward to those. I'm really looking forward to having some interaction with you guys again. Hopefully you all got your invitations. I know I sent all mine out. I guess you did as well.
Yeah, I certainly did, yep.
Yeah, okay. So you're all set up and ready to go.
Yep.
Let's make these really productive, really useful. And remember, if you can be warmed up and stretched, ready for when your time slot begins, then we won't use any of the time to warm up and stretch.
Yeah, it's
we
really
can just get on with technique.
And I think as well, I think people need to be patient and understand that there's going to be only so much that we can do in a virtual one-to-one. And really, the virtual one-to-one, I think, I don't know about you, but personally, I feel as though it's your chance to get some feedback from us.
Yep,
so it's your chance to show us something, and then we can critique it and give some advice or, some pointers or just say, yeah, that's amazing, keep doing what you're doing. It's going to be really difficult if somebody says to me, I want to learn Cientian in a virtual one-to-one, and they've never done it before. It will be a challenge. So just think of these ones-to-ones as, if you're practicing at home, you've been working on something, and you think, I'd quite like to get some feedback on that, then, you can book yourself a one-to-one, and we can go from there. Of course, there are things that we can teach, and we can show you, and we can help you with, but we can't, physically move you and get you into the right position and those kinds of things. So, again, you're just going to have to be patient, as we all are.
And remember, we are complete novices at one-to-one onlines.
Yeah, we are.
Today at 2:30 will be the first time I've ever taught an online one-to-one class.
Yeah, well, we did one-to-one gradings in March.
That worked quite well. I was quite pleased with that.
Yeah, but it was different again, wasn't it? Because we were just watching what people were doing. We were telling them what to do, and we were watching it and then marking them, which is obviously different to
trying to give
teaching,
advice and
or give
no,
advice.
a bit lower, no, a bit lower on the other side.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll do our best. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be great. All we ask is, treat us gently because it's new for us as well.
Mm-hmm. And obviously we're going to have to be quite strict on the half an hour as well because we're
fully booked.
We're fully booked this afternoon, so we're starting at 2:30 and we're not going to finish until 5, which means that everybody's got their half an hour slot, and we are going to have to be quite strict on that as well.
All right, good.
You're going to have to be strict on your time. I just got visions of it going to 45 minutes. And
well, I can't do that, can't
then being here till 8 o'clock tonight.
No. Well, it can't do that. It must be on time. To be fair, when I teach classes here, where there are classes following, I'm not too bad on time, am I?
No.
It's only when it's the last class of the evening
Your live
I get
classes,
carried away.
Though, your live classes.
Oh, yeah, they do go on a bit.
They do, especially when I'm meant to be doing a kickboxing one afterwards and you leave me 5 minutes to...
All right. I can see what this
no
is turning
pressure.
into. It's turning into,
No pressure, but, you're just going to have to... So if you've got a one-to-one with GMV this afternoon, you need to remind him, of the time. That's all I'm saying.
Big hand is on the 7.
Yeah.
All right, so... Next thing, belt passing video. We've had some brilliant clips sent in, haven't we?
We had 23 clips sent in for our belt passing video.
That's fantastic.
Which was brilliant, and it was so much fun to edit. It is put together now. I'm going to be putting it out later today. And it does look really good. So again, thank you so much to everybody who got involved with that. And I think you're going to like it.
Yeah, thanks for your sense of humour, guys. It's so nice to see everyone having some fun with it and to
see people doing something different as well, something different that we don't normally do. It's a different kind of video. So again, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. We're going to try and do something else. We may create another little video project for you all to get involved in, or a photo project or whatever. But we're going to try and keep these ideas going so that we can have something constant, really.
Yeah, we just want constant involvement with you guys, really, which is lovely. I've got the next thing on my list here is we're decorating at Ball Close, but we've already spoken about that.
We are decorating. We're having quite a strict decorating time, I think, in the fact that we've decided to go all out and really freshen the place up, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
So we're working on the toilets. The toilets are having a nice revamp. So hopefully by the time you guys can come back, it'll all be nice and fresh in there for you. To be honest, they're not finished at the moment, are they? I mean, we've only started on the ladies, but they already look lovely in there. So much brighter and cleaner.
And the front entrance has all been done.
We've done the front entrance too, and the front entrance way. So as you come in the doors, we've painted the doors. So we've done lots of maintenance, I think. And we're also going to have a crack at the changing rooms, aren't we? And
we are, yes.
It is like changing rooms. It's going to be a new experience for you when you come back, hopefully.
Yep. Next thing on my list is the urban kickboxing, but again, we've spoken about that.
Yep.
So the next thing on the list, are we going to change this, aren't we, this Wednesday slot?
Yes. We're
going to make the Wednesday slot alternate weeks, because we're really busy with things, and obviously with the one-to-one lessons and whatever. We have to sort of work out what's good and what's efficient, and what's giving you good value for money. So with this Wednesday slot, we both like doing this slot, don't we?
We do like doing it,
yeah. Here and,
I think
and have a chat.
Unfortunately for us, it's perhaps the thing that we do that gets the least response and the least interaction from everybody at home, which is fine. We understand we're here in the middle of the daytime, but we wanted to do something in the middle of the daytime just to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that was our own choice to do that. But I think that perhaps if we did it every other week, we may have a little bit more interaction perhaps, and we may be able to think about our topics for a little bit longer. And like you said, you touched upon earlier, you wanted to do the question and answer session. If we plan a question and answer session, it then gives you a lot longer to get your questions in, and a lot longer for us to think about your questions and come up with answers to your questions.
So if we could... Oh dear.
Oh dear, Reg.
So
He does this every week, doesn't
yeah, he does. It's
Reg.
like a Reg. Wait.
I think he knows. Because there's no one there. I think he just knows that we're live.
He loves to be in front of the camera. Whenever we set a camera up, he goes and lays in front of it.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Anyway, where was I?
We were talking about the podcast
Yeah, so
and the question and answer.
Yes. So in 2 weeks' time, which will be the next one of these,
Yeah.
we would like to do a question and answer session.
Mm-hmm.
So any questions you have about karate, kickboxing, Muay Thai, self-defense, fitness, health, safety,
Or
personal
anything
safety,
regarding stuff that's going on here, you know.
yeah. And why do we do this? Why is this a requirement? What's your thinking on this? Absolutely anything. Like I say, we'd be happy to talk about it. I can remember when I was a colour belt going through the grades, often thinking, I wonder why we do that. I wonder why that's done in that way.
Yeah.
You know, and to have the opportunity to ask the question and to discuss it and to have people explain it to me would have been really useful. And because it's being recorded and it's going to be saved, you can then refer back to it and say, if anyone else ever mentions it to you, you could say, oh, there's a podcast on that, so,
Yeah.
you know. If you go to the question and answer session in May, then that was explained.
Yeah. I did have something to say and I've now forgotten what I was going to say. Relating to what you just said, of course, but it obviously wasn't that important. It may come back to me.
Guests?
No, but we can talk about that. That's a good idea.
All right, so with these live question and answer sessions, these Wednesday sessions, as I said, we'd like to do question and answer, but something else we'd also like to do is have guests in, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Now, at the moment, obviously, the guests would probably be by telephone,
Mm-hmm.
or if you sent in questions for a guest, say we lined up a guest, and we said on the first week of June we're going to have the Queen of England in, and she's going to be doing a thing with this, and then she said, oh no, I can't come in, security's a bit tight.
I'm busy that day.
But I'll answer your questions on video. Yeah, then we could put the questions through on video and she could send us the tape in, which would be nice of good old Liz, wouldn't it?
Tape. She could send the tape in.
Yeah, tape.
Wow. Back
there
to
you go.
1990.
Anyway, you get the idea. So the other thing is then, do you have any people that you'd like us to involve? So, for instance, we both know a good nutritionalist, don't we?
Yep.
So it'd be lovely to have him involved and get his input for lots of subjects.
Well, there's lots of different people that we could get involved. You know, we've got people from the fitness industry. We've got people who are personal trainers, people who, like you've said, into nutrition, and they can help you with your diet. If you've got something in your diet that you think isn't quite right, we can put questions to them about, you know, how to potentially fix that thing in your diet, and loads of different subjects. You know, we spoke as well about getting somebody involved, I won't mention his name, but who used to be in the police force and things like that, and talking about martial arts from a law perspective and all those kinds of things, you know. And there's so many topics that we can touch upon, and I think sometimes people don't necessarily think of them straight away. But have a think, you know, we're not doing a video podcast next week, but you've now got an extra week to think about this topic. We'll try to keep reminding you. We'll put stuff on Facebook and say, you know, don't forget to be thinking about that and that kind of thing. But, you know, sort of try and get some ideas together, because I think it'd be really good. I think a video podcast would work really well. In the time that we had a question sent in from Jamie White, I think that podcast, again, worked really well, because it was not that we were put on the spot, but it was like something that you and I had to think about as we were here, and then we threw ideas around together, and it generated a good conversation that people could get involved in.
I really liked that. I thought it was good, and it was a great question as well.
It was, yeah.
And it just gave us the opportunity to explain some things, really, and it was a nice way for it to work. Like you said, it's great, because immediately someone asks you a question, you know there's interaction.
Of course, yeah.
So you know that, you know, that there is something going on or whatever. But don't feel you have to make up silly questions
No,
because
no.
we want questions. Don't make stuff up. If
Yeah.
you're genuinely interested,
Genuine question.
then ask, and we'll be happy to deal with it.
Yeah.
But don't make something up just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
There's little point in that.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing that I think we need to talk about that I don't think is on your list, because I think you've come to the end of your list,
I have.
is gradings, because lots of people have been asking us about what's going to happen in June or the end of June for the gradings, and we have had a chat about this and we have come to a decision.
We have.
So I'll let you explain the decision.
We're not going to have gradings in June because it's just impossible. We haven't been able to coach you and give proper feedback. We want you to keep working on this syllabus, keep at it, make it the best it can be, but you won't be assessed on it.
No.
Now, at the end of June, the syllabus will rotate again, as it usually does, and we'll go to the next section. And hopefully, soon after it changes, we'll be able to get back to having some sort of classes.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe even before then.
Yeah.
We really don't know. I mean, we're planning for all sorts of eventualities, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
Is it going to be a free practice session with an instructor around?
Yeah.
Are we going to have classes where you have to book in so that you don't have too many people? We're exploring everything,
Yeah.
and we will be active as soon as we are legally able to.
Yeah.
We just don't think it's right to try to assess somebody on anything when we haven't been able to give first-hand, hands-on feedback.
No, and you haven't. I mean, as a general rule, a rule of thumb, we expect people to attend so many sessions before we even consider to give out a grading invitation to them. So if you didn't know that, you've learned that today already. And the fact that not everybody's been getting involved in the classes, not everybody has been getting involved in the videos that we've been uploading, and that's fine. It hasn't been a requirement. We haven't said to everybody, you must do these videos, you must do these live classes. But at the same time, you've got those people who have been doing the live classes every week, and we appreciate that some of you have learnt a kata from a video, and that is a massive achievement. But the difficult thing for us is you may have learnt it from us in the video, but we haven't really taught it to you firsthand, and we haven't been able to point out any mistakes that you've been making,
small corrections,
bad habits you may have got into. We don't see you enough. In fact, we don't really see you. You see us a lot because we're doing the classes and the videos and the podcasts and whatever, but we don't have a class with you every week where we can see you and give that feedback. So, and I think it would be unfair to everyone who has already done a grading, if you like, in a coloured belt, to then potentially award a belt to somebody who hasn't been to a class and they haven't, taken part as much.
It most certainly will not be wasted.
No.
Because the way the syllabus works, it rotates around, and the next time this rotation comes around, you will have a head start on it already, won't you?
And
you will have practiced.
You've learnt that new kata that you didn't know before. Well, when this syllabus comes around again, you'll say, "Oh, I don't know that one." Yes, you do. I remember you learnt it from a video. Let's go through it a few times. It will come straight back to you, and before you know it, there it is. And you can remember it. So it's definitely not wasted. Now
there are some exceptions. I will do Chosho gradings for anyone who is on a schedule to get a black belt, a Dan grading in at any point. So, for instance, let me give you an example. Let's say you're planning to take your second Dan in December. Now, hopefully, December gradings will be completely back to normal. Fingers crossed.
God, December, I should hope so.
So let's assume everything is completely back to December, and also all the prep time is going to be available to us. Let's say you're scheduling a Dan grading in September, and you need maybe 1, 2, or 3 Choshos that you were planning to get June and September. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, we will somehow accommodate you. We will somehow get you in to do one-to-one gradings, or we'll deal with it somehow, because I don't want anyone to have their
And I know that there are people out there.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to have their Dan
situation.
grading schedule shot to pieces.
Yeah.
But other than that, then
Yep.
We'll not have gradings. It shouldn't make too much time. It's not a race to black belt, is it? And it's not a
No,
race
absolutely.
to second dan or third dan.
No.
You know, it should be, the process should be enjoyed, and that's what we've been trying to do. Make this process enjoyable.
Exactly.
And this part of the process is different for all of us.
It is, yeah.
But
and
still enjoyable.
Yeah, and I mean, you like you say, you can't rush these things. You know, you need to make sure that you are at that point when you can be assessed for your next grade and you're ready for it. There's not going to be any doubts in your mind, you know, where you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure how this goes or how this should look. And we don't want to be a Mickey Mouse kind of structure, do we? Where we just award belts.
Well, as I say to
attendance,
as I say to students very, very often, I love you all, but I love karate and kickboxing more. You know, and I want those things to stay established, because and the reason I love them more is because I know how much good they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're such fantastic tools for development.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't love you enough. I just love them more because they're so key to everything.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't want people to be disappointed that gradings aren't happening, especially if you've been working really hard and you've been doing all these live classes with us. Think of the live classes as helping you to stay in the loop, I would say, and a way that you can still be in contact with us and we can still be in contact with you, and you can still get some martial arts into your life, you know, in your living room or in your garden, wherever you are. But try not to be too disappointed. I mean, we're disappointed. We're really disappointed that even the March gradings were affected massively, and we had this mass rush, didn't we, in sort of 2-3 days where I had to build this scheduling system on the website and everybody had to book in. You know, we were trying to hire out in DIS. We were trying to hire out different venues because the youth centre was going to close, and we had to go to a different village hall, and things were just kicking off all at once. And it was chaos. And we didn't have anywhere near the amount of students grade, did we, on the virtual ones, on the video ones, in comparison to what we would normally have. So they were massively affected. But never mind.
It's not what happens to you that counts. It's how you respond to what happens to you.
Yeah.
So we're going to respond positively, and we'll get things back on track.
Yeah. But my point is, it's not anybody's fault. We just have to go with what we're given, don't we?
I saw on Facebook yesterday, fairly obviously for me, maybe not so obviously for you, I've got lots of other martial arts school owners around the country on my Facebook friends. Fairly obvious when you think about it. And a couple of them put posts up yesterday, I believe, which said that they hire schools and they've been contacted by the schools to say, we're back on the 1st of June. Would you like to open your hire again? And they were worried that what was the legal position of it.
Yeah.
So obviously they've got to clear that. But I don't know.
Really, again, that's not for the schools to decide. It's for the government to decide. And we can't, even if the schools say, like in DIS, in Harleston, you know, if they say to us, well, we're going to open, do you want your classes? We can't until social clubs, leisure activities are legally allowed to operate again. That's ultimately the bottom line, isn't it?
Well, we have to be legal, don't we?
Of course we do. We have to be sensible as well, you know, and we don't want to put anybody at risk, do we?
Of course not.
We don't want anybody to get anything nasty. So.
Okay, so that's where we are. But the way I saw it is, it's a glimmer, isn't it? It's a change that may or may not be happening very soon. You know, June is a couple of weeks away. You know.
Well, exactly.
So
and I would be really surprised if things turned around that quickly. Admittedly, I'm not involved in schools. You know, I don't have any children, so I don't know what's going on in the school community. But I think personally, from an outsider's point of view, I'm going to be really surprised if in the next, 10 days, 11 days, we go from this position that we're in now to having the kids back at school. I don't see it happening myself. I may be wrong, but I don't know.
And then it's another layer trying to get all the evening hires in.
Yeah.
So we will get things back on track as soon as we can, believe me. But we have to just be careful and
we do.
honest.
And go by the advice that we're
Not
given.
risk.
Yeah, and actually follow the rules.
Yeah. It's a new one.
Yeah. Next thing on my list before I forget it,
Yes.
I'm not sure if I know we mentioned the one-to-one gradings, but did you mention that from tonight the next ones are going to be available?
One-to-one lessons, you mean?
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
It's because we were talking about gradings. I meant lessons, virtual one-to-ones.
Okay, so no, I didn't mention that. Would you like to?
Yeah. So as we've already mentioned, this afternoon we've got our first round of virtual one-to-one sessions with you guys. If you were lucky enough to book one, because they did go quite quickly, I have to say, which I think we were both pleasantly surprised about.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't lucky enough to book yourself in a one-to-one, then this evening, the next one-to-ones for next week, so I think that's Wednesday the 27th, the 20th,
yep.
So next week, one-to-ones will become available this evening.
And then Saturday ones will become available Saturday?
On Saturday,
okay.
yeah. So you will have around a week to book yourself in. But my advice is don't give yourself a week because they will go quickly. If you're hoping to get a one-to-one for next week, you need to ideally be on the website this evening to book yourself in for a slot. Although I'm going to give you a piece of advice, a bit of heads up here. I know that if you'd like one for Saturday, there is still one available with GMV. The last one of the day. I believe it's still available on the website, so if you haven't got one, go and get it now. And then also we've got Coach Martin, who's going to be doing some one-to-ones with us next week, so we'll have some slots for Thai available from next Wednesday. We did also discuss the option with Coach Martin of having him available for both days, so like GMV, available for Wednesday and Saturday bookings. And then Coach Martin can do Thai and he can do kickboxing as well.
Sure.
And that gives the kickboxers and the Thai students a little bit more of an opportunity to train or to have a virtual one-to-one with you guys. One thing...
Yeah, I was going to say, could we ask, don't book a second lesson until we're fairly sure that everyone has had the chance to at least have one.
Yeah.
I mean, I love people's keenness and I love the enthusiasm. Mm-hmm. But they do go quite quickly, which is lovely.
And there's a limited number.
Yeah. So if you could not book a second lesson yet, if you've had a lesson or you've got one booked, could we ask you not to book another one until we're fairly sure that everyone who'd like a lesson has had at least one?
Yep.
That would be good.
And I think that perhaps if you are one of those people who you have your one-to-one today or on Saturday and you think, I'd quite like another one of those, and it gets to Monday or Tuesday next week and there's loads of slots left, then of course,
yes,
jump in and book yourself another one. But give everybody a chance. It's like the hand sanitizer and the toilet roll. You're going to have to be considerate of everybody else and only book as and when you need.
Yeah. Let everyone have a chance. And some people are not as nimble with technology as others, are they?
They're not.
It takes them a bit of time to get to the right place to book the lesson.
Yeah. So also in regards to the lessons, all of the lessons will happen on Zoom. So if you don't have Zoom and you're hoping to get a one-to-one, just go and download it. It's a free app. You can set yourself up with a free account. You don't have to pay for anything. It's nothing like that. And then what will happen is the day before your one-to-one, or hopefully a few days before your one-to-one, depending on how busy we are, you'll get an email from us with a link. And that link will take you to that video meeting, if you like. It's called a video meeting. And all you have to do is then click on that link and it pops up on Zoom and then you'll see either of us who you've booked in with. Another important thing that I have to mention, but it's on the booking form already, so if you've already booked a one-to-one, you will know this. But if you're under 18, you must have an adult with you when you do your video one-to-one. So please don't book yourself in if you're under 18 without first asking permission, and secondly, having an adult there with you when you're doing your one-to-one.
Yep, that is important. We don't want to put anyone in an awkward situation, do we? So
no, and I would hate for that situation to arise and we have to say to somebody, well, look, we can't do this because you haven't got an adult with you. So just be aware of that before you go ahead and book as well.
Yep, certainly. Well, that's everything on my list.
It's everything on my list as well. So a little bit of a different podcast today, as we've said. It's more of a catch-up than chatting about a certain topic. But hopefully it's still full of positivity because we've been talking about all the things that we've been doing, all the things we've got coming up. including all the decorating that we're doing and all the cleaning and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you've had an update, if you like. I think it's probably the best word, isn't it? Update.
Yeah, a catch-up sort of thing. You
Yeah.
know exactly where we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and remember, get your questions in if you would like a question and answer session. Maybe even if you don't have a question, but you would quite like a question, you'd like to watch a question and answer session, maybe just send in a comment. Say, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Or even just put a thumbs up or something. That'd be great.
I'm going to head that way then,
Okay,
so I can press the buttons.
press the buttons. So I'm going to do one of my favourite things now. I'm going to refuel before I have an afternoon of teaching one-to-ones. And then hopefully I'll be full of energy and full of enthusiasm for the sessions this afternoon and raring to go. And I'll try to do the same on Saturday. But I'll see you before Saturday, obviously, because we've got Sensei and Maisie's PE class tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, and we have the live classes on Thursday. And remember, if you fancy the urban kickboxing, then give it a look and see what you make of it. And again, love your feedback. All right, see you soon.